errors, being sloppy about stuff like that does count somewhat against you. Okay, where this isn't a certified writing course or anything like that. But on the other hand, you do have to. You're being judged on what you're writing. Okay. Similarly, the research projects. We'll talk about the research project in a little bit. There's some big requirements there. Let's talk about the grading. We usually use a straight curve in this class. It's really never been necessary to scale or something like that. There'll be plenty of people who do fine, and the rest of you, I'm just kidding. It'll be fine. Obviously, in advance we can scale. I mean, after the fact we can scale. If it turns out like everybody will get into something otherwise. Grades. Grades come from a total of 3 midterms. The course has 4 units, equally spaced through the course. And we take a midterm at the end of each of the 4 units, the last one being a final. The final is partially cumulative. It's not nitpicking type cumulative, it's big picture type cumulative. Homeworks and quizzes count for 25% of your grade. Since we do a quiz every day, in theory, that's a lot of quizzes. In other words, each individual quiz, and certainly every individual quiz question, is not really worth all that much. On the other hand, I'm lazy. Where do you suppose the test questions come from? Quizzes, right? Okay. By the way, once the quizzes are done, we put the keys up online. So they're just for you to study for the tests and stuff like that. Okay. In practice, homework assignments tend to be kind of uneven. I have like a whole bunch of assignments I can give you about El Nino. I had nothing. I have no idea what to write for a homework assignment about hurricanes. You know what I'm saying? So like the kind of like there'll be 2 or 3 in the 2-week period, and then there's nothing for a month. Okay, right? So the homework is kind of hit and miss. There's also a research project. This is actually as in doing research. Every semester we come up with some topic and we actually do research like as in like what a professional scientist does. Not like as in a dig in the library and come up with references from Wikipedia or something like that, which is cool too. I mean, that's another way to do research, but this is more like a computational thing. Last year we ran the WRF model to simulate part of the monsoon in Africa. Another year we ran an ocean model to simulate El Nino. We got the model set up. Well, actually, I got the model set up, and then everybody runs it. You know, they come up with a thing they want to test. They wanted to see how the trade winds affected El Nino, and they set the model up to run it with that. This is not some huge challenge in the sense of like make sure that it's all fairly straightforward as to how you do it, but you actually have to do it. Okay. Now, another year we did we used satellites to describe some squall lines in the tropics. You know, everybody got the signs of squall lines, and they write some description of what they were seeing. I'm not yet sure what the project is. I usually kind of wait for inspiration during the course of the semester. It's what we do in the second half. We need to start kind of offers already. Okay? But that will be 10% of your grade as well. There's I'm not sure. There's always a written part of that project where you actually write up what you did. There may also be, I can't remember if this semester I decided to do an oral part or not. Okay. Towards the end of the semester, this semester it's a little screwy because I'll be gone for 2 weeks, and I don't know yet like whether that's a great time for you to do oral projects because Dr. Martinelli can sit here and just take them for me, or that's a horrible time for you guys to do it. I haven't decided exactly what's going on here in those 2 weeks. Okay. All right, so that's pretty much the straight. I mean, it's got a really tricky syllabus. You guys got any questions about that? Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. 2 of your homework assignments are going to be related to the Weather Break radio show. You guys are already on the mailing list. You've been getting those messages each day of the radio show. Okay, if you haven't figured it, I haven't heard much about it. Basically, we have this little radio show that comes from Creighton every day for 5 minutes, and it's very NPR. It's very public radio. It's very student produced. Episodes range from disasters that I can't believe we're sending out into the air to, wow, they really did a good job that day. Anyway, we're going to make 2 episodes over the course of the semester as homework because we did some internal assessment of the department and we were hoping to improve the oral communication skills of our students or whatever. I'll just start handing this little handout about it. So, everybody has to do 2. There'll be like 1 fairly early in the semester and there'll be 1 towards the end of the semester. It's not that big of a deal. Basically, you just write up an episode. If you haven't been listening to the show, start listening to the show for a while, and you get a sense of what we're looking for. Which is the show is mainly aimed towards like rural lay people. I don't know. It gets distributed to a couple hundred people a day. Plus, it's on the air. I don't know. It's mostly kind of very public interest, I think. You'll randomly get assigned a topic. I have 11 topics in the envelope here, and you'll do them. You'll write a little episode and get it all straightened out about that. and then we will record it. Okay? The show's only 5 minutes long. Like I said, you have the intro and outro music. It's about 4 minutes long. This is not exactly really hard. Okay? You can do things more creative if you want to, like telephone interviews. If you have the equipment, we can do that. You know, if you want to interview somebody about your topic, if you want to interview Kathy about your topic, like you have kind of written your episode to be a dialogue, so it's a little less boring than just you reading it. You can do that. However, all right. All right. So. 11 randomly assigned topics. I bet you're shocked to find out that all of the first set of topics are hurricanes. Okay? So, this time of year, you know, everybody loves hurricanes, right? So, have randomly chosen topic. Ken, are you actually in the class or are you sitting in it? Or you want a topic?
Topic.
All right. I can't remember if you actually registered.
I've signed up.
Oh, great. All right. Unless it says otherwise, your topic, your show needs to be recorded by the date that's in yellow on that form right there. A few of them, because if somebody's doing, you know, let's say the 2nd anniversary of Hurricane Katrina, well, we want that to air on the 2nd anniversary of Hurricane Katrina, which means it needs to be recorded a little earlier so we can get it out to the station on time. So if yours has a date on it that says, you know, it needs to be recorded by whatever, let me know. Otherwise, it's whatever the date is on the handout. September 18th. Okay? Doesn't take that long. All right, any questions about that assignment? It's not going to be all that tricky of a thing. You also have to send me, I think it says 3 web pages associated with your topic. I don't know if you've ever been to the What a Great website, but for every day there's always like a set of links. So let's say you have the anniversary of Hurricane Katrina as your topic, then maybe like some web pages that are about Katrina. Usually something a little more human interest, like somebody's set of pictures of their home after Hurricane Katrina, or some footage that they put online on YouTube of cleaning up after. You know, something a little human interesting is what we usually do for. But that's up to you as to how you want to do it. Okay. All right. Any questions about that? It's not going to be real hard. All right. What else do we have here? Okay. Normally this is not a real paper-intensive class, but that first day of class. This is the reading list for the semester. It is also, of course, at the class website. It's also on the course CD. Last year it was actually also on the cover of the course CD. I haven't actually made the cover for it, so I'm excited that I can get this on. The point is, I don't want any excuses. I didn't know what to read. Okay? So you have readings. And you know that I wasn't kidding. More or less every day there are readings. And sometimes they're actually a fairly large number of pages, which I sometimes feel bad about, and sometimes I laugh. But I mean, you know, it's an intro-level textbook, okay? It's not that complex to read, you know, a chapter of an intro-level textbook, although it's a little bit harder than intro. Anyway, so there are your readings. You can see that for Friday, you're reading Buckle, Chapter 1, pages 1 through 5. Buckle is the book that we're waiting for, so I will email you that chapter. And you're going to be reading from V2, which is Toga Core Atlas Volume 2. Because you don't have the CDs yet, which would be your easiest way to access that, I will just give you a copy of the pages from that day, from that chapter. Toga Core Atlas. Toga Core was a big experiment that happened in the early 90s in the Western Pacific. It was really where a lot of our understanding about LEO comes from. It was a big experiment where they had lots of ships and buoys and satellites tasked and things like this to the Western Pacific. And this book was about what is the climate of that area of the world like. Okay? It's a good background for understanding the topics to understand the Western Pacific. So we're going to be doing that. So for example, this chapter, this section that you're reading now is about the temperatures of the ocean in the Western Pacific. Okay? And it's a very dry in the sense of it's just sort of a description of it in different times of the year. What am I going to do with this when you get your quiz on Friday? I don't have a quiz written yet. One of my favorite things to do from this kind of readings is to like actually put some of these pictures on the test, on the quiz, and I don't know what I would ask about this particular one. I might, under different circumstances, I might say things like, is this typical of winter or summer? Or you want to, how you want to say, would this be more typical of December or July? Okay, and in practice, these sea surface temperatures are pretty damn similar. So I'd have to look and see what I asked last year about this. But